Again to Let's Talk Chemistry with Pastor Dan. We're looking at covalent bonding. We're going to do practicing of those. Remember the process for Lewis structures. We identify the number of valence electrons off of the number of nonmetals there. Then after we add them together, we identify the center atom. It's one that's the least of. We put that one in the middle, put the other ones around them, bound up with two electrons, either the two dots or the line. The line means two electrons. Then we feel the octet of the outer electrons. Then after that, if there's any extras, we go in the center. If there's not enough, then we double bond or triple bond. And if it's not equal, then we do a structure called resonance. So here is the practice for today. So I've got 12 Lewis structures. So copy those. ICl4 carbon tetraiodide, pH3 phosphine or phosphorus trihydride, CS2 carbon disulfide, BF3 boron trifluoride, ASCl3 arsenic trichloride, SiO2 silicon dioxide or glass, SeO2 selenium dioxide, SCl4 sulfur tetrachloride, NH4, I put the brackets there so you don't forget, plus, that's called ammonium, XeF4 xenon tetrafluoride, again, NO3, I put the brackets so you don't forget, that's called nitrate, and KrCl2 krypton dichloride. I have two ionic structures I want you. One to do Lewis dot. Remember, those are the dots. Erase them, get to charge or add up, brackets, get them equal, make the structure. And then two with oxidation numbers. So go ahead and do those. Okay? Now let's do one practice just to make sure we reiterate how to do the process of Lewis. So let's do the SCl4 sulfur tetrachloride. How many valence electrons does sulfur have? It has 6. Chlorine has 7, but there are 4 of those. So 7 times 4 is 28 electrons. Add those up, get 34 electrons. Sulfur is my center atom. Put chlorine up and all the way around. Bond up with electrons, double bonds or lines. I prefer lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So altogether that's 8. Subtract away, giving us 26. And we got to put 8 electrons around each one. So that means 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 24. Subtract 24, leaves me with 2 electrons. Those are extras, so the extras go on the center. That's the structure. It's a superoctet. Let's go back up and look at the answers then for the rest of those. So finish up. And then when you're ready to, here's the answers. Okay, so we have carbon tetraiodide. It's a structure with 4. We have 1 non-bond with a phosphine. Double bonds on both sides to a carbon disulfide. Remember, borons and boron only need 6. Again, 1 unbound electron pair and arsenic trichloride. So glass has double bonds on both sides. We have resonance with selenium, so we have to have the double-headed arrow. We have on 1 electron pair. We did SCl4 together. NH4 should have a charge around it. We have 2 extras in XeO4. We have 3 Lewis structures in ammonium, 3 unbound electron pairs, so it's a superoctet. For the Lewis dot, we should have 3 dots for aluminum, 6 dots for selenium, no dots for Al, plus 3 Ses with 8 dots, -2 Al Se3, and then it's plus 2 minus 3, and cross them down, Zn3 and 2. Xenon nitride is the name of that structure. All right, so you look around the room, you might notice I'm wearing a Christmas sweater today. This is Christmas time. I've got my room decorated with various Christmas ornamentation. So it's going to be that time of year. And I always like telling stories, not really stories, explanations of many of the characters that are part of the Christmas understanding. I'm going to talk about the Magi. I'm going to talk about shepherds. I'm going to talk about Mary. But one character that doesn't get a whole lot of notice in the Christmas story is Joseph. And Joseph ends his life early. He doesn't kill himself. Sorry. He is gone before Jesus starts his actual ministry on the earth. So he dies probably in his 40s to 50s, which is common for the man at the time who worked hard. Joseph was a carpenter. But there's certain things that we learn from Joseph that we have to take to heart. Joseph was a good Jewish man who abided by the law and loved God, and God had chosen him specifically for a purpose of shepherding and guiding his son in this world. And what are some of the things we can learn from Joseph? Well, one of the first things I think we can identify is sometimes God's going to change our plans. We have an expectation of the way things are going to go, and sometimes God will change that, and it's a lot better than we could imagine. And if we had thought about it, we probably wouldn't have done it necessarily. But that's the story of Joseph. Joseph was a good Jewish man, as I said before, and he had made the choice that he was going to probably divorce Mary because she was found to be with child. And so in a dream, he had the right to execute her, have her stoned to death as an immoral woman. But that's not who she was. Joseph truly loved Mary. I believe that. And he was going to do that quietly. Joseph then had a dream where God told him that the child was of the Holy Spirit, was going to be the Son of God. And he had to change his plans of what he thought his life was going to be in a radically different way. And sometimes God will do that to us. He will put events in our lives that will take us in a path we had no idea would take place. Joseph then also had to be willing to listen to the leading of the Holy Spirit. Twice, the angel of the Lord told Angel Gabriel, we believe, spoke to Joseph and told him to marry Mary, and then second, to get up in the middle of the night and take his the child and Mary into Egypt because Herod was coming to kill him. He had to be willing to listen and in faith move even though it didn't make sense. A lot of times we have a leading to the Holy Spirit and we just pass it off as our own feelings, our own needs, but we need to be willing to listen and act on those things. And then the third time when he came back. Joseph was a good man, a hardworking man. I can't imagine trying to have the responsibility of being the father of the Son of God. But God chose him. God chose you for a specific purpose and plan. The thing is, we have to be willing to live up to that expectation. And not only that, also willing to trust in his plan to do it his way and not our way. That takes lots of prayer, lots of time in the Word, lots of intercession, lots of just meditation on what God would have for you. So that's something we can take from the story of Joseph and be able to understand that God has plans for you, plans that you can't imagine, and plans that are for your good and his glory. That's it for today. Take care. God bless. Bye.